Okay, there's quite a few wires running through the center console. So before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and clean up and paint and reinstall the console. About 95% of my wiring done. I've got some wires that need to come up through the center console here. I got the fuel pump control, and I actually have my fuel pump wires, power wires that are going to come up through here. They're going to come up through this little plate under the bottom and into the fuel pump, and then I've got the gas tank senders. But I've actually put in my shifter cables here. You can see I've got a rubber piece that wraps around it, seals it off from the back. This big thick 1/4 inch piece of rubber, just like I have over here for the fuel outlet and inlet. Gone ahead and got my shift linkage connected here. I've got it all wrapped and protected from heat. I am probably going to build a little heat shield here to keep major heat off from the exhaust here. But I've wrapped the exhaust with some black fiberglass heat protectant, trying to keep the heat out of the top of the engine compartment as much as possible. I've stopped the wrap right here so that this pipe down here low will be able to get air on it and cool down as much as it can before the exhaust gases hit the turbo. Just try to make it a little bit less strenuous on the turbo. Anyway, those come through here. I've gone ahead and tied it here. I'm playing with the position of my shifter. I think I'm going to be able to just move this around a little bit and try to get it to tie in. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm getting ready to pull this out and do some modifications on the console. Way on my center console, cut a bunch of it out. Little meaner trimmer, cleaner. Move the mount. I cut the mount out here and I moved it over a little bit, and I re-welded it on here. I made these two brackets here. This is a bracket for the cable stop for the shifter cables. These things, they screw to the top of the console here. This is the little pass-through to the fuel tank area. And I'm getting ready to paint this and then start putting it all back together. The console's been all painted, dried, and put back together. I got it temporarily, well, not temporary, but I had to lengthen this shifter. So I got a hardened bolt and I got a coupler. And so basically I was able to use the length of this shifter. But on the factory mount, these two cable stops are mounted flat on a plate. So I built my own cable stops here, and this cable just happened to get a little further forward than this one. So I measured the distance between these two and added it to this one. So when I put it all back together, it should work. It was working before I took it apart. So anyway, the console's in, solid. Parking brake works good. I've started running my wires under here, everything that's coming back through here. And I've made the harness for my gas tank area, fuel area. It comes through this little sealed grommet, and so one of these is for the fuel pump, the other one is for the sending unit, and it goes right in there under the shifting cables. You can see my little wiring harness here. One goes to the fuel pump, one goes over here to the sending unit. They come through this little grommet, through this little grommet here, and one of them connects here and goes forward to the sending unit. The other one connects here and goes to the fuel pump. So a little bit step forward. I've also gone ahead and put in the oil level sending unit and just taped up everything else that's just kind of door switches and stuff that's just going to be used later.